What's going on, guys? This is Frank Hatzis, and you're in Rope Dart School. This question has come up over the years, and that question is, what is the purpose of a rope dart or meteor hammer flag? So today, we're just going to be discussing this little piece of fabric that we hang on the end of our rope dart or meteor hammer. Let me back up for a second. So when it comes to the purpose of the rope dart flag, there's nothing written anywhere from a first source material that describes why you would put a flag on a rope dart. If it does exist, I've never seen it. If someone knows of its existence and they can point me to it, I would be so grateful. So the first question we're going to attack is, where does the flag go on a rope dart? When looking at and again, we're talking about traditional rope darts, they have rings that attach the rope to the head. Now, this rope dart in particular has two rings, and I always put my flag on the ring furthest from the dart head. It's also the same ring that I attach the rope to. You are more than welcome to put your flag anywhere you want on your dart head. So now that we know where to put the flag, the question is, what is the purpose of the flag? And there are quite a few purposes, as it turns out. The most obvious thing that a lot of you already figured out is that the flag is great for wind drag. Now, when you're retrieving a rope dart, having that extra drag makes it way more manageable, even in shots. And it's a real simple experiment. If you have a traditional rope dart, go outside, rope dart with the flag on, then take the flag off and rope dart again. You'll feel a difference. It's not a difference where you can't rope dart unless there's a flag on there. However, it's obvious how different it feels. So that wind drag gives the rope dart more control. This following purpose is little well known, and because it's not written about with regard to the rope dart, we have to look at other weapons that feature things like flags, or even a spear will have horsehair on it. The reason for flags on weapons or horsehair on weapons is it acts as an absorbent material. With a rope dart, if you hit your target here, the flag is still going to be coming forward and is going to basically splotch onto the part the rope dart pierced. Now you can see here kind of that any blood, any kind of liquid that comes out of a poor unfortunate target is going to immediately absorb by the flag, which prevents it from going onto the rope. Because if you get blood or water or anything on a rope, it becomes pretty slippery and way more difficult to wield. So having something like a flag on the rope dart will absorb any blood that splatters. It'll catch the blood, stopping it from going onto the rope. Now, when you look at a spear, they have horsehairs that's right underneath the tip at the top of the shaft, right underneath the tip of the spear. The reason that that's there is that when you take a spear and you pierce someone, the horsehairs absorb all the blood, making sure that it doesn't get on the shaft of the spear. The rope dart's flag is the exact same purpose. Nobody ever wrote this down, but we're looking at all these different weapons. They all have the same purpose of absorbing blood. A chain whip has the same thing. If you look at a traditional saber, they'll have a flag at the bottom of it coming off of the hilt. Same thing, you grab it and use it to either wipe the blade or your hand or the handle. Probably one of the least well-known purposes of flags for any weapon, especially on something like a rope dart, was it was military issued so that you can tell who was on your side and who wasn't. You know, soldiers coming from a certain part of China, a certain empire, are going to have, say, red and yellow. The opposing side is going to have blue and purple. Now you know when you're fighting. Stop fighting, everybody, please. You know who's a friend and who's a foe. And those colors, they might have been the emperor's colors. Again, it was just a way to identify who's on your side and who isn't. A final reason for the flag, now this was shared with me by Sifu Daniel Piscina, who's OG rope dartist, and his Sifu explained to Sifu Piscina that sometimes you would dip your dart in poison. Now this is something tribes in the Amazon do too, is they'll dip a dart they use in a blowgun in the poison that a frog excretes. I'm not sure what exactly the frog is called, but they'll poison a dart so that when they shoot it at either an enemy or an animal, it'll get poisoned. And then they would use the flag to wrap over it so that they didn't actually get the poison on them too. So there's your answer. That's the purpose of the flag. One, the biggest reason is control. Simple experiment, go outside with your traditional rope dart with a flag on, then take it off. In 5 seconds, you're gonna feel the difference. It's immediately obvious. Another aspect of the flag is to make sure that the blood of a poor enemy doesn't get on your rope. It actually gets absorbed by the flag. And we see this same principle in all kinds of traditional kung fu weapons. The rope dart is not unique here. We also know that the flag was used to identify what team you were on. Look, it's the same reason that all kinds of sports ball teams have different uniforms. You need to quickly identify who's on your team and who isn't. And flags were great for that. That's it. I love you all. I hope you found this information useful. I wish you all the best. Peace, love, dart life.